Welcome to Screen Fiend. It's your boy Carcino here, and let's talk about Blade Runner 2049. Oh my goodness, it's hard for me to really even do uh, a film like this. This is a film that's very much into fantasy, but it's a crime drama. And going into this, I did not get approved for the pre-screening that they do for the everyone else for the news, and they were really strict about restricting people for this film. And I'm like, wow, why is that? Comes to find out, they were concerned about people leaking the plot. That the director personally, Dennis Venezuela, Venaway or whatever. So anyway, the director, Dennis Venaway. I'm sorry, I was reading a message. But anyway, he was sending personal messages telling people, do not, you're allowed to, but we request and we respect the fact if you did not tell some of the secrets revealed in the film. Don't tell people the secrets of the film. We appreciate that. Let them go in there and get surprised when they go see it. Now, there are great compositions. Hans Zimmer, the music, everything. This is visually stunning. Like you will be blasted away. It's spectacular. I haven't seen camera work with this much direction and shots. Like I'm like, oh wow, this is good. Visually, it's incredible, and that is a nod to how the films you've all seen done with Ridley Scott. This is definitely like it's got his touch to it, where the visual landscape is its own picture. It's telling the story basically off the visual landscape. Some of the scenes in this film, like if you're a filmmaker or want to make films, you will gush over some of the scenes that you see in this film. Now, with that being said, this movie is heavily flawed. And I'm gonna say why it's heavily flawed. And I'm not gonna try to spoil anything for you, but it doesn't really, the surprises are not so drawn out. When I saw the first film, when I went back and watched the first film again, I anticipated this being the sequel. What everybody thinks is such the shock of the storyline of the plot, I already assumed it going into the film. So when they were announcing that it was happening, I'm like, maybe there's another surprise because this definitely couldn't be it. I almost predicted this entire script. And then when they throw a curveball here or there near the end, you don't really care. And what this is, for those who are sitting around trying to figure it out, Officer K. K is short for his number or whatever. He's a cop. He's a new Blade Runner for the police department. He unearths a long buried secret that has the potential to destroy society and put it into chaos, the order of control. And when it puts him on a quest to find Harrison Ford, who was a former Blade Runner who's been missing for over 30 years. No one knew what happened to him. And during this time, the world has become a desolate place of nothing but old microchips and, everything else is destroyed. You don't even see food anymore. You just see microchips and technology. As Officer K, his only relationship is the one that he has with a computer screen named Joy, played by Ana de Armas. And That's basically his life, is the job, being a Blade Runner, going out hunting his own kind. And what happened is they reinvented the system and made replicants again years down the road. It went to a Nexus 8. And the Nexus 8 models were once again the same cycle, needed to be exterminated. So here come the Blade Runners again. And that's how Officer K, Ryan Gosling, ends up coming into play here. But if you look at it, this whole thing, and it's all drawn out, um, I mean, Michael Green and Hampton Fancher, they did a good thing, blending the two together to try to make a story that could be played, but it's so long. This movie is 3 hours long. And some of this stuff could have been on the editing room floor. I mean, you could have easily edited at least 30, 40 minutes out of this. But they wanted to show you the landscape of the film, the visual aids. They took a lot of long, slow shots. And it cuts like a dull knife because it comes like a police drama that's so drawn out to the point where it's like, oh my God, this is taking so long to get to an obvious narrative. And you're going to wait about 2 hours before you see Harrison Ford. He's only in the last hour of the film. So you see about 2 hours of the film before Harrison Ford is even shown. And he's basically a cutout board prop for this movie because he's barely doing anything in this film that's worthy of anything. Like he might have 1 day of shooting, 2 days of shooting to do this work because he's non-existent really in this film. And I think they're really overselling the Harrison Ford being in this. I mean, this is like the same type of work he done in A Force Awakens because this is it. Like I don't know where he can go from this. Um, his scenes in here was very moot and just like okay. Are they going to continue this thing? I have no idea where they're going. I could tell you, like, wow, this is going to be this is going to be that. I mean, there's no real great climatic scene to me at the end of this film. It's just, you're just like, I waited 3 hours and I want to go home. This movie gets 2.5 stars out of 4. It was grossly overrated. Um, the visual aids and the stunningness of the look of the film, the style of it, made it at that 2.5. But plot wise, it is so drawn out, and it should have been whoever edited this film. I mean, he might as well give his money back because you can't tell me that this film was edited greatly because it was not. There's so many scenes. As a director, I know you probably like and want to keep these things, and from a film watcher, I could deal with it. Jared Leto's character, I felt was very ominous and very deceptive, and has a godlike complex what he's creating. So you would expect him to want to continue his work. But I'm not even interested in making a spoiler review for this. That's how uninterested I am in this film anymore. Like, dude, would I even go back and watch this again? Probably not. It's 3 hours long. I like the look of it on 4K. It's gonna look amazing, I think. But other than that, am I really interested in seeing Blade Runner 2049 again? Not for 3 hours, no. I would come in, skim in on a part. You probably won't lose anything. It's like a mystery thriller that's not really a mystery thriller anymore. It's just one of those films that's gonna come and it's gonna go. It's got its cult following and that people that loved it just like the original. And everybody, it's just eerie awesomeness. I'm like, it's eerie, it's good, it's not really awesomeness. I've seen this. This film could have been done a lot better. Lot better. But like its predecessor, it has its cult audience, and that's just the way it is. Don't forget to subscribe. Click that little link in the middle and subscribe that says Screen Fiend. I'm out.